What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe this. This is my mid-mic crisis.
Hello and welcome to the Mid-Mic Crisis. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
Honestly, I'm having a great day today. I feel like I'm firing on all cylinders.
Wow. How many cylinders are you?
I'm a four. So I'm a economical four cylinder, but I get great highway mileage, good in the city,
Yeah.
But
I'm more like a John Deere. So
like a two-stroke.
Yeah, I'm like a two-cylinder fat needs has gas instead of needs gas. That's really more my speed. But I'm excited for today. But before we get there, I need to hear more about why you're doing so well. I feel like, first of all, this has been a long time coming. Like, I feel like you've been, having a rough go of it lately.
Yeah, I've been feeling down. I tell you, as soon as October hits, man, I'm a sunshine guy.
You are just like the human embodiment of a pumpkin. That's correct.
Or I was gonna say, or a bear, because I just don't want to. I want to hide for months and months and months, and then come out in the springtime.
Yeah,
but no, it was a good day.
See you do have your puffy attire on today.
I'm also, I don't know about you. October is the month that I don't turn on my air conditioning and I don't turn on my heat.
Yeah, baby.
So the days are cold. The mornings are cold.
Yeah, baby.
So it's been a puffer day. My basement where I currently reside is very chilly. So just, you got to dress for the occasion. But I kind of showed you some stuff. I was approached by my work to do some AI stuff that I feel like I was very successful with. But that was not the main, the main reason for my feeling myself today. The main reason for feeling myself today is over the past few weeks, my dryer has been making some really obscene noises while in use.
You're not supposed to put the kids in it.
No, turns out not a good idea. No, it was making like a screechy kind of noise. And I'm like, well, geez, I got to get a new washer and dryer. And then you start pricing that shit out and it's, $1,500 a piece. You know what I mean? You're $3,000 in the hole. You can't just replace the dryer. You can't have a state-of-the-art dryer and have, a 10-year-old water. You got to get both. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm a capable guy. I have the resources. Why can't I fix this myself? And if I call a appliance repair person, minimum,
it's not worth it. It's like totaling your car. You might as well
minimum $500 out of pocket.
So you might as well buy the new one.
Exactly. So I'm like, who are these people that they're better than me? I have YouTube.
I mean, do you want a list?
I mean, no, let's not.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't prepared, but I could just fire off the cuff if you want.
So I said to myself, self, you can do this. You have YouTube, you have ChatGPT. You can at least attempt to fix this before, because normally I would just, throw in the towel and go buy some appliances. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. A real man.
Like a real man. So I go on YouTube and I kind of say, hey, like how to fix this particular, squeaky dryer. So I pull up I don't know, 3, 4, 5 different videos of varying problems that it could be. It shows me kind of how to open it up and kind of the process to really inspect it and see what the problem is. So sure enough, I open it up. I see where the problem, and what I see is similar to what I've seen on one of these videos. So I go back to the video. I'm like, okay, I think this is what the problem is. And it requires me replacing a part. So I have to remove this part and then I have to buy a replacement part. And I don't know about you. This dryer is maybe 10 years old. This is not a. I have to do some research into finding this. So I didn't know where the model number for my dryer was. So that's when ChatGPT came in. I said, hey, I have this dryer, this brand of dryer. Where do I find the model number? And sure enough, it gives me a list of places to look. The first option was where it was. So now I have the model number. So I said, well, what other models could I use to, that share the same parts, right? So if I'm looking on Amazon or Home Depot, I want to be able to find, multiple, like a part that fits multiple units. So they gave me a list. Here are all of the models that use this same part. And I start Googling, and I'm like, what part am I looking for? I'm like, I'm not 100% sure I'm getting the right part. I said, what would be the part number for this if I'm looking it up? Immediately gives me the part number. I throw it onto Amazon. I look at it. I look at the part I have. I'm like, it's the same thing. I order it. It arrives today. This is the moment of truth.
So you've just used AI in your personal life in a way that we haven't really talked about yet. What are your thoughts? Obviously, you're feeling like on top of the world. So
unbelievable.
Now, do you think you would have been able to do this without?
No, well, that's the whole thing. I started because Amber, Amber was along with me for this journey.
Mm-hmm.
So
she was feeling the pain.
She was feeling the pain. Wink, wink, Amber.
Inside jokes. Sorry,
sorry,
audience.
That's so funny. So she was around for. I said, well, hey, check this out. Like, look what I did today. I found the part. I found the part number, and this is what I did. And she's like, oh, this is insane, because she's been using it to look for jobs, and she's doing some yoga courses and stuff like that. She's been utilizing ChatGPT, and she's been kind of slowly picking it up.
Wow.
So she was blown away.
Wait till she sees your AI avatar yoga instructor that we made.
She's gonna love it. She's gonna love it.
Yeah, your downward dog is really weird. It's
really weird.
Really approaching uncanny valley for me.
So anyways, so I got the part about 30 minutes ago. I installed the part. I turned on the dryer, and it's as quiet as a mouse.
Wow, it worked.
Like,
all right,
I have a dry load in right now. Can't even hear it. If it was last week, you would I wouldn't be able to run it because you could hear it.
Wow,
it was super
that's
loud.
Crazy.
Yeah, so
amazing.
ChatGPT really. Had I not had that, you would have to go to like those weird appliance parts.
Oh yeah, like
you know what I mean? Not even a hardware store. There's like a industrial area kind of place where you have to go for like where the plumbers and these techs go to buy their parts. You would have to go to one of these places. They would have to look it up. You find the one guy that's been around for 25 years. Like, this is what I got, and maybe he figures it out, maybe he doesn't. ChatGPT literally took me 30 minutes to order the part. Like, once I knew once I kind of set my mind to it.
Incredible.
So, unreal. So you can do anything you want with YouTube and ChatGPT. There's nothing you can't do.
Wow. That'll do it for us today, folks. Thank you for tuning in. We have that took 10 minutes. We have a lot of stuff to get to.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to get to it quick.
I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. And I hope that you keep using this stuff in your daily life, because it is actually useful. This was a great example of something that's just like really tangible, right? That it helped you solve.
Absolutely.
So,
well, it's honestly, it just comes down to what you said. You're like, use it as an assistant, and it can literally be an assistant for anything you want. So I think that's what it really comes down to.
All right. What are we doing today, Chamber?
We have to we've been putting out a lot of social media stuff where we're using our AI avatars. So it's you and me. And I'm going to tell you right now, our faces aren't getting the clicks. We need a third member of our team. They're
not doing bad though, by the way.
They're not doing bad. but they're not
I'll
doing
tell you
hot.
right now, these videos that I posted that I'm using my avatar on are doing better than any video I posted prior to that.
There you go.
So
There you go. So they're doing good, but I mean, we're not doing Instagram influencer good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So you messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, should we build an influencer for us?" And I said, yes, let's do it. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to build an AI avatar from scratch. The idea here is that we could use this not only for potential videos, but build almost like a whole persona for this influencer slash avatar that could not only be visual, but also textual, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
So, yeah, we're gonna give it.
You said sexual, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So here we go. This is a multi-step process. We're going to do this on the fly. We have no idea if we're going to be able to do it by the time this show ends. So bear with us. We've broken this down into, I would say, 5 steps, right?
Yes.
Chamber, we've
Yes, we do.
got, and the steps are, I would say, as follows. So first, we need to create the actual visual representation of the person we are trying to make an avatar out of. We are then going to kind of create the persona slash tone of voice of this. And I'll show you some kind of fun, unique things that I've built to do such a thing. Then we are going to give it a voice and plug that into some of these tools that we're using. And then hopefully by the end of this, we can build an actual video. I'm not sure if we'll get totally to that spot yet, but it just takes a while for some of these tools to generate things. But either way, we'll walk through the whole process, show you how to do it, and see what you think. So, and then we're gonna make a video out of it. We're gonna make multiple videos out of it, and
lots. And we're gonna maybe some of them might be personal, maybe just for us. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Anyway, okay, so step 1. Here are the tools I think you're going to need for something like this. At least this is the way I've mapped it out for this episode. We're going to create the images in Flux. And so if you don't know what Flux is, it's an open source image gen tool. It's one of the best ones out on the market. Rivals Midjourney, probably not quite as good as Midjourney, but you don't need to. But you don't need a subscription for it. The reason I
thought Flux was I thought Flux was better, but
it's comparable. It's
Okay.
different, right? So like if I were using Midjourney for this, you could kind of use the character reference or style reference and kind of get multiple views of our same character. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to create a single image and use that as our basis. But for Flux, if you wanted to do something like create a consistent character, you would need to take one extra step and do what's called train a LoRa. And that's basically just fine tuning a model so that it knows it's what we talked about with me putting my own face into images. That's the same technique. So we're going to start there. So you're going to need Flux. The reason I'm using Flux is because I want to try to do this as cheaply as possible. So you don't need a subscription to use Flux. You basically pay per generation. So we don't need too many generations here. So maybe cost us $1 if we create a bunch of images, but it shouldn't even cost that much.
With the money that I saved on the dryer alone.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We'll do this for years.
Yeah, the only real tool you might need out of this is we're going to use HeyGen. Now, it's not the only thing out there to use for something like this. We're using it because we've been using it personally and we have a subscription, and I think we can do it in this platform. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this. So if you're seeing this and you're an expert at this stuff, don't kill the messenger when we're using.
Yeah, we're not very smart.
No, we're not. We're just trying to do this to show you that it's possible. Anyway, okay, so then we're going to use HeyGen. We're going to do a bunch of different stuff, but we got to get into this if we're going to finish it. So first step, let me see if I could share my whole screen and do a little creation of our. So the only problem with sharing my whole screen, though, is I'm not sure that you're going to be able to hear the audio when we go audio. So I might just have to switch.
I think there might be a toggle even when you share your whole screen. I'm
Okay, so here we go. We're going to start the process here. So this is what we're running Flux here through something called Replicate. Replicate is a kind of platform / website that hosts a bunch of these open source models, and you can use them directly on the site, or you can run it through an API. For this demo, we are just going to prompt right here and get an image. And but you can see what we're using here is Flux 1.1 Pro, which is the newest version of Flux. Also the most expensive. You could use other models for this. So if you just kind of go to Replicate and look at Black Forest Labs, there's a whole bunch of different options here you can use. Some are cheaper than others. 1.1 is the newest version, so it is one of the more expensive ones. But you can see here, it's running this on Replicate. It costs 4 cents an image. So, you know, say we run 10 of these to pick one, it'll only cost us 40 cents to create our image for our avatar. So, Chamber, what do we want this to look like? Guy or girl?
I think a girl. I think when we first started podcasting, I always said 2 guys and a girl is the best combination for a show.
We used to have a girl co-host, by the way.
We did a long time ago.
Yes. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Okay. So what kind of style do we want? So I'm going to say, let's do photo, realistic.
Yeah.
Female, social media influencer.
But not too hot. You want it to be you want her to be like, oh, I could see her hanging out with those 2. Do you know what I'm saying?
Let's see if I just put average looking.
Yeah, just like average hot. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like a 8.2.
Let's see if it'll do this. I'm going to try to have it wearing a shirt that says Mid-Mic Crisis. Well, that's all we're going to put in here. We're going to see what comes up with. Okay. And tell me if you need me to re-roll this again. So we're going to wait here. And right. But this will be the part of the process which we create our influencer. What do you think?
I mean, that's pretty good. I was going to say dark hair. Could she have glasses maybe?
Okay. Let's see. It's sad that this is what it thinks average looking is, because this is above average.
More of a 9.2 than an 8.2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That is pretty. That's tough. That's tough. I wonder what an average guy would be, and just showing the discrimination between men and women.
You're looking at 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm going to say we are above average.
Oh, I would have said far below, but sure. All right, how about that? That one's pretty good.
Perfect. She kind of looks more age appropriate. The other one looked a little bit younger.
I feel
like she would hang out with us. Like she would.
Yeah, I dig this one. Okay,
it's not.
So we're going with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna go quickly through this. So all we're gonna do here is download this image. It's gonna go up here. I'm gonna go find this I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to save it. So this is a WebP image that comes out of Flux, but we're not going to be able to use that. So I'm going to save the image as something else here. We're just going to save it as a PNG.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to call her just Mid-Mic, average Mid-Mic fan.
Yeah. Producer Peg.
Yeah. Producer Peg. Dig it. Okay, so Producer Peg is now being created. So you could obviously play around with this and get it much more. One thing to point out, though, it did really good with the text. So
it did extremely good. Yeah,
it did really good with the text. You could even see it's like folded, how a shirt, it's molded like a shirt would if you were wearing it, right? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to start this process of getting the video model created, right?
Gotcha.
So for this here, we're going to pop over to HeyGen and go to avatars. So on HeyGen, you can create a couple different types of avatars. You can see Chambers got his avatars in here. So if we pop in, you can see what's cool about HeyGen is you can actually create a bunch of different looks. So Chambers got a couple different views of himself in here. One as if he were podcasting, which we're working on some stuff with, and then he's got a vertical one for doing some TikTok-ish style videos. For me, I've got a couple different ones in here as well. You can see just a vertical sitting podcast with the microphone, working on a bunch of different looks here. But you can do those with your own real videos, or HeyGen has the option to use photo avatars. So we are going to try and upload our photo avatar here and create our video. So, okay, so this is loading. We'll come back to this in a minute. Our video avatar is processing. Okay, so now we've got that part out of the way. Next step here, Chamber, is we need to give this, what are we naming her?
Do we want to go with Peggy?
Sure.
No.
Sure.
No, do we need a better name? Payne, do you want to?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Throw a name in the chat if you have an
Or maybe,
opinion.
maybe anybody in the comments, give us a name. Bunchu Chamber.
Producer Peg is so good.
I do like Producer Peg.
Okay, Producer Peg it is for now. Okay, so we need to give Producer Peg a little bit of personality, tone of voice. So for this, I'm doing something a little different, potentially interesting, potentially creepy. Hear me out.
All right. Oh, I'm all ears.
Okay, so I think our intention for this avatar is not only to be able to give us to create video content out of,
Right.
but maybe we let her loose out into the world on social media, give her her own accounts, and see how that would work out in the future. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, but I think the more we could do, the better. And for the record, Payne, you are now Executive Producer Payne, EP Payne, if you will, EPP.
Producer Pam, if she's average, he says. There you go.
She's a little above average, I would say.
Okay, vote on it is it Peg or Pam, and we'll get her settled by the time this is over. But okay, so the idea here would be that we need to give her if we're going to do things that are just more than video, and potentially set her out on her own account, we need to give her tone of voice, right?
Okay.
Or instructions on kind of how to be and act.
Sure.
Okay. So how do we do that?
I don't know. I think we create just a female version of us where I would say funny, approachable, able to relay information in a way that's easy to understand. I don't know if these are things that we're looking for, but
They are.
You know what I mean? You want it to reflect kind of what the show is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Now I'm going to do this in a way I think that some folks might be interested in. Now what I'm about to show you, you can do.
Are we talking? Never mind. I was gonna be crude, but I pulled back a little bit. So I apologize. I'll let you.
Thank God Peg's gonna be doing our content from now on. Okay, so we're gonna do something that I think people could either do for themselves or in the way that we're using it. Now, I went ahead and did something here that any of you can do for your own social media account, or you could potentially do what I did if you were trying to build something like this, which is I went ahead and I chose a few different social media Twitter accounts that I follow that I really enjoy. And the idea was, okay, well, what if I could mimic the way that these people spoke and wrote on Twitter? Are you following?
I follow you. By the way, I have another option for a name, by the way.
Yes.
Is it in poor taste if we use the name of our original third co-host?
That's really funny. I'm down. Shout out to Cynthia. Shout out. We missed you.
Cynthia was a good time for those of you who
she was great.
She was a party. She was a party.
a literal party.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
was
yeah.
I at the time. So
You were.
I'll never forget the chili episode. For
It
those of
was
you who know the true history of the whole show, the
the
chili
basement
episode.
tapes.
Yeah, the basement tapes. Anyway, okay, so here's what I did here. We are, I went ahead, and now you could do this a couple different ways for your own tweets. So, for example, if you go to your own Twitter account, you can go and actually request your data.
Right.
And
You did this the other day with your reply guy thing, right?
correct. And this is
Yeah.
so we're going to use some of these as that example to build the tone of voice here for the example. So if you go to Twitter and you request your data, what it will actually do, it takes 24 hours to get this, but you'll be able to get literally every single tweet that you've ever quote, including your replies, your retweets, your quote tweets, all of that stuff. It'll have your assets and everything. It's a big, huge file, and you want to find the one that contains the texts of all your tweets. So I actually went and did this for some social media accounts that I follow. I went and scraped some accounts via the API for us to use that I think would be fun. So I did for any My First Million fans out there, I did Sean Perry, which is, so here is literally all of Sean's tweets. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of tweets.
He's the funny one, right?
Yes. I did it for our favorite Mr. Strawberry, the
Awesome.
Strawberry Man.
We love the Strawberry Man.
And I did it for a gentleman named Riley Brown, who's a kind of an AI influencer as well.
Okay. All
So
right.
these are people I like their tweets. I like the way they write, and I thought it would be interesting to build a tone of voice that is a combination of all these people. Okay, so now how do we do that? Well, I built a workflow here that we're going to use in ChatGPT. Let's just pick like one of these. Should we do the My First Million one?
Sure. For the record, just so we know, someone named Peg just liked our our
Maybe she
stream on
already
Twitter.
exists.
Yeah. I don't know.
Shout out to you, Peg. Shout out to you. Okay, so
It's
here's what
wild.
we're gonna do. We're gonna use the Sean Perry ones for
Okay.
now, just so this doesn't take super long. However, I could do this for all of them individually and come up with like one big long thing at the end. But here's what we're gonna do. So I built this workflow here that creates a tone of voice out of all of these things, right?
Gotcha.
So it's going to take in all of the tweets that are in that document, and it's going to look at them for vocab and word choice,
Okay.
grammatical patterns, punctuation trends, sentence structure, rhetorical devices, paragraph structure, tone and mood, coherence, idiosyncrasies, and figurative language. It's going to do all of that, right?
Unbelievable.
So what you'll end up with is a pretty accurate representation of how, either if you do this for yourself, you
Right.
write, or if you do this for, how I'm doing it for this example, how somebody else writes if you want to give influence to your avatar. Okay. So for the sake of this, I'm not going to run it through this because I want you to watch what each one of these looks like and has it do. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use ChatGPT and just put the prompts in here, right? So let's use ChatGPT. We're going to use a clean version of this. I'm going to go, I'm going to find my, hold on. I'm going to also just save. I'm going to move this somewhere that I can find it more easily. I'm just going to copy it to my downloads folder. Okay, Sean's in there now. Ready? So here we're going to do, here's what we're going to do. So we're going to come back here and take this first prompt, and you can see what the prompt looks like here. We could actually put all these prompts in the show notes if somebody wants them. We can create a document for it. Okay, so here we go. So this one's going to be for the vocab and word choice. So we're just going to take this. We're going to put it in ChatGPT. Here's what the prompt looks like so you can see it. I'm going to go to my downloads folder and just give it the file. So now it's got the file, it's got the prompt. It says analyze this text to create tone of voice guidelines for vocab and word choice. Please provide detailed guidelines for each element, including blah, 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 blah. Right. And then it says analyze unique, specialized, repetitive words, whatever. So you're going to see this. It's going to run. It's going to read every tweet in this document, and you're going to see here's what it's going to give you back. And so at the end of this, we're going to create a document that has all of this in here as kind of this comprehensive tone of voice thing. So you can see, I mean, it's talking about use active voice in most sentences, and it gives you an example. Avoid passive constructions that slow down the tone, and it gives you a bad example. So again, we want to be able to give this, we want to be able to give examples here. So when we're using this to create text, tweets, whatever, posts, it knows what's good and it knows what's bad, right? So while we do this, I'm going to just create a Word document that's going to take all of these in. We'll use it later. I'll just create a new one here, and we'll post this in. Okay, so then we're going to run through all these in the meantime, and we'll visit it at the end, or I'll actually just keep rolling through it. So we're going to do grammatical patterns. And again, we're just going to post these or just copy and paste these for now, because I want you to like see the process. I don't want you to run through it as
right.
Or like watch that automation run. It's not nearly as interesting if you don't see it, right? So again, now it's running through and doing grammatical patterns, etc. And it's going to keep doing this again for all of the types of things that we're going to do, right? And again, we can use these prompts, or we can give you guys these prompts to use at the end of this all. And but what we're going to get here is this document that is a really robust tone of voice from yourself or whatever it is that you're giving it, right? So I mean, maybe even it's a catalog of your favorite author or something, right? So the idea is just to be able to give it a ton of information to work off of to build you this kind of dossier, right?
Right.
Now, if you do this for yourself, you might find, like me, my tweet content is shit. Total absolute garbage, which is why I have to go and scrape other people to find an engaging personality. However, I think my podcast persona is pretty good. So what you could do here is you could give it transcripts. So if you have audio transcripts,
right,
you could give it stuff like that as well. But you can see here we're cranking along, creating a pretty robust picture of what we want our avatar to be, right? So Chamber, what do you think the next step should be while we're doing this?
I honestly have no clue at this point. So we're building the personality. We have kind of the first image. Do we need like more images? Is that what we need?
So I don't think so. Not for this example, but in theory, you would want, this is why you might use something like Midjourney for this, right? Because you want to give it some different potential looks, right? Especially if you're using HeyGen, right? Because
you
HeyGen
only get that
allows
one.
you. Well, right. And HeyGen allows you to upload a bunch of different types of looks, right? So you might want to be able to put your avatar in different types of scenarios, whatever. Okay, we'll just do like one more of
cute
these.
Outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
I want to do a little tone and mood. We'll just do a couple more of these. We don't have to do them all, but you'll get.
Do we need to give her access to our social media?
Now you would. We're probably not going to have time to get to all of that in this specific show. But yes, what you would want to do is like you can create its own account and you can actually kind of
Now,
create auto posting,
would we
replying,
want
all
her
of
to
that good
have
stuff.
would we want her to have access just to the Mid-Mike Crisis account and have her go from there, or have her own account?
I think there's some fun in potentially letting it loose on its own.
Because she could just promote our socials and stuff too, right?
Well, yeah, and she could grow her own following. So I
Right.
think what we should do is let it loose on its own account. What do you
All right.
think?
Hey, whatever you think. I'm just here putting together dryers.
We're probably not going to get to that part today, so maybe we'll have to do a part 2 where we actually let her loose in social media and see what happens. Okay, this is the last one, and then we'll have called this a pretty comprehensive tone of voice guideline, right? Okay, so we want to do this last one here. It's still writing the one prior. So yeah, this is going to be pretty robust. Now, in the meantime, we could check and see was our avatar good?
Looks
Yeah,
like she's there.
she's there.
I like
Can we
I do like Cynthia. I do like Cynthia.
Okay, but can we actually create something with her yet? Let's see. I'm not sure. This is the part that concerns me about it. Let's see. Let's do a landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, she ain't there yet, dude. Maybe you can play around with it while I'm doing this other stuff.
Yeah.
But she's definitely not there yet. Okay, so let me grab these last two from our tone of voice thing. I like that we're just making like a female version of Sean
Of
from
us?
My First Man, which is just kind of funny.
That's high praise.
So, yeah, I agree. Okay, so in the meantime now, or here's the next piece of what we're going to do. So we've got our image.
Mhm.
We've got our kind of tone of voice guidelines that we're going to set free on the world for this avatar. And now we're going to write a little script from a story that we can
Looks like she's ready to
utilize-
go, by the way. Sorry, not to
Oh, good.
interrupt.
That we can utilize an image script for, or that we can utilize a script for, because we need to give this thing something to say, right? So, okay, so now this will be the end of this. I'm just going to download this document as a PDF, and we will move on. So download PDF.
I do like how there's a stock image of a guy named Chad, and he has a mustachioed
I
man
saw
named
that.
Chad.
I did see that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we are going to pick a story that we want to create out of, right? So I have this full kind of content system that I've built and showed on this channel before. But here I've got a ton of articles on AI that come into my database here, and you can see
I call this the Leviathan. By the way, I don't know if you ever watched the show Veep.
No.
Oh, for real. Anyways, the president's assistant, Bagman,
Yeah.
who's what's his name from not Curb Your Enthusiasm, Arrested Development. Who's the youngest sibling?
Buster.
So Buster plays the VP's Bagman, and he carries around this big, suitcase with all of her things, and he calls it the Leviathan.
Oh, this is definitely that. Right?
Yeah.
So here we go. So we've got a story in here that we've already kind of picked and processed. So you can see it in here. I've got a ton of data on this story and what's going on inside that. Again, there's this workflow that I've built that you could drop a URL in, and it extracts all of this stuff that ends up in in here as is. So you could write scripts from it and everything. So what we're going to do here, I've got an automation that is going to create a script from it. So it's going to go run, and you'll see in a minute a script will pop up here that we can use for our video. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that script, throw it back into ChatGPT with our tone of voice, writer, and see what it comes up with as a final script. So right now the script should be being made from that article, and it should pop up here any second. But Chamber, this is how we make our like daily bites and our news articles at this point. Boom, there it is, right? So now we've got an article, or we've got something that we can use here for our little YouTube short or whatever. It gave me 3 different types of hooks we could use. And then it gave me kind of the context, a secondary hook to keep people engaged, why it matters, and a call to action. So pretty nice little script writer for a YouTube short that we can now use. Which of these hooks do you want?
Can you rhyme them off for me?
This one says, have you ever thought that someone could steal 46 million with nothing but a convincing smile and some AI magic? That one seems good.
That does sound good.
Why is no one talking about the face of deception that just cost victims 46 million across Asia? And then third is, I apologize in advance, but this technological scam is unlike anything we've seen before. 46 million gone in a flash. Which one do you like?
Let's go with number 1.
I like number 1 too. Okay, so we're just gonna delete these. We're gonna delete this. Oh, you know what we didn't do yet? We're running out of time, but we need to give it a voice.
I was going to say I was pulling up the kind of the creative voices within HeyGen.
Okay, so now we've got.
Do you want to use those?
No, we're going to do one step further because I think this is important. So for the sake of time, we've got our tone of voice document that we can use later, but I'm just going to use this exact script because I think it turned out okay. But and plus the tone of voice document is more for like if you're going to have it write posts for you, right? So more of the actual written type of content, right? So what you could do is take this script and say, okay, rewrite it in this according to this tone of voice. We could try it if you want. I'm just trying to save some.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
Okay, so we're going to take this and use it as our script. So now if you're telling me our avatar is ready to
give it a refresh, maybe give it a refresh.
Okay, so we can go into our HeyGen. We're going to create a video. We're going to create an avatar video. We are going to, we're going to go use portrait. We are going to go to our photo avatars, and we're going to use our wonderful, what did we call her? Peg? Pam?
So many names.
Okay. So here I'm going to paste our script, and this is what we're going to use as our script here. And now let's give it a voice really quickly. So for this, we're going to use 11 labs. And I actually realized that I need this as a draft because I'm going to have to go back and do something in a second. We're going to use this. We're going to use 11 labs. So with 11 labs, you could test a bunch of their pre-made voices here. So you can kind of go down and choose from any of these voices. There's whole libraries of voices that we could use for social media, entertainment or TV, etc. So should we try Brittany Hart, young, peppy, female, social media?
No, not young. I want a little bit older. I want some tread off.
It's got to match the.
I feel like she looks.
Her voice has to match the
like the visual. Look. Yeah, right. I feel like she looks a little older than the first version.
Let's just see if you can hear this. So.
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
No.
Uh-oh. Hold on. I got to share my screen differently probably. Hold on. I want to share my Chrome tab for this. Try again. Can you hear this?
Hey, are you looking for a fresh
Yeah.
and engaging voice for your podcast or social media? Then
What do you think?
I'm the voice for you.
Give me another option. Give me
Uh,
that one was okay. I'd say that's not bad.
satt en fugl I hånden, en ti på
nope,
taket.
sorry.
행복은 목표가 아니라.
Nope.
I like that one. I like that one. That was good.
Shoot. Let's see.
I feel
we
maybe
want-
just the one we went with.
Let's do English. And Brittany
Hi
Hart.
guys! Today I'm spilling the tea on what went down with our favorite celebrity couple. Join me for some vintage shop.
Hey, are you looking for a fresh and engaging
pretty
voice for your
good.
I would
podcast
say
or
that's pretty
social
good.
media?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
so
I'm
we're
the
gonna
voice
use
for you.
this.
I needed
gonna
an
add
octave
it.
lower.
Add it to my voices. Okay, so then the next thing I got to do is I'm going to stop sharing for a moment because I got to get an API key
Right.
here. Okay, so then we're going to put our HeyGen or our 11 Labs API key.
Because we did that with our avatars. We used the API from 11 Labs and attached it to our HeyGen avatars,
Correct.
which
So,
sounds much better.
yes. So again, if I just share my whole screen here, then I can come back and I think how did you add this? I forget. Where do I go?
In HeyGen,
Yeah.
how did I do that? I went to
Oh, AI voice.
AI
Okay, so
voice.
you go to AI voice, you could integrate third party and you can import a voice from 11 Labs, paste your API key, confirm it. Now you can see and you can just use all my API credits.
I'm a lot smarter when I'm not on the show, by the way.
Oh, good. You took it down. Thanks. So here's my key up here. You can see, and here's all the voices. I forget what she was called. Was she called Hope? Oh, yeah.
No.
Hope. Upbeat and clear. Yes.
Oh, is that what it was?
Okay. So then you just do this, and she's now added in here. So we can go and give our avatar a actual voice. So let's edit her. We are going to choose her voice here. And where is Hope? Here she is. Okay, so now Hope's got a voice. Let's give her a little style. All right, are we ready? What's her name? Peg? I keep forgetting what her name
Peg
is.
is good. Peg is good.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to save her as new because we've got Peg.
And by the way, if you delete the old one, it deletes both of them.
Yes, I know. I found that out the hard way. Okay, so now we've got Peg. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to start to create the video. We only have a couple minutes left, so I hope we can get through this. We're going to create our video. We're going to go back to our avatar. We're going to use portrait because we want it kind of TikTok-y style. I'm going to go to our Peg photo avatar here as we did earlier. I don't know why it didn't do that automatically, but we are going to drag Peg into the screen here. And here you go, Peg.
Welcome to the team, Peg.
Okay, welcome to the team. For the script, I'm going to go back and use my little YouTube short script. And we've got her voice already in here. So you can kind of see what this is going to sound like if you generate it prior, right?
Mhm.
So now it's generating. So I've got one more crazy content system trick I'm going to show you in a second to create our kind of background. But Hope is generating here. We're going to take this exact same. Oh, that's what she sounds like.
Oh, I can't hear it this way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I
We'll
was
take your
waiting
word
for it
Let's-
to.
We
I was-
can still generate it.
Okay, so we're gonna run with this. We're submitting this to be made. We're calling it Peg's first video.
Don't forget to switch off the watermark. I do
Yes.
that. I do that.
I do that
literally.
all the time. Yes. Okay, so we've got this. Peg is going to generate here. She's 2% ready. In the meantime, now we're going to make the background of this video. So we're going to go to my other crazy content system that we've got built. And this is going to create all the imagery for us behind that goes on while she's telling this story. Without going too far into how to actually do this, we are going to come up here and I'm going to close some.
And
of this
worst
out.
case scenario too, if we run out of time, we could always do part 2 next week, and just
Well, part 2 next week. We should actually like put her on social media. I feel
that's what I
like,
mean.
you know?
Yeah, we can continue this journey.
Okay, so
And
I'm gonna
obviously between now and then we can do a lot in the background to kind of get things going.
AI deepfake is what I'm going to name this. I'm going to make it my active story. I'm going to make it our YouTube short. And now it's got our aspect ratio in here. We're going to go down to manage our story. Oh man, I hope this is going to work for me because I forgot to do something earlier, but just bear with me. But what I'm going to show you here is kind of cool. So here's where we're going to put our script. And I'm going to approve our story to see if we get it rocking and rolling. While that's happening, I'm going to stop sharing my screen just so I can check on it. All right, Chamber, we're coming on to the home stretch here. Tell me what you think of the process so far based on what we've done here.
I think it is a fairly simple process if you have the right tools.
Mm-hmm.
I think this video is going to help a lot of people, much like the appliance repair person that made a video that helped me fix my dryer. This will help people create social media avatars that they can then use to build their, empire. So I think this is going to be very helpful for people. But I am surprised, again, just as long as you know what tools to use, it can be fairly simple. And like you mentioned, we can put the prompts. We'll have all the links to all of the sites that we used. We'll have that in the show notes. So you'll be able to use that. And maybe we make a document that we can kind of keep adding to as we go. I don't know if that's something we want to do for prompts and stuff like that specifically for this.
We could totally do that. I think like giving people the power to do this on their own. So like, let's share all our prompts. Let's do all of that stuff. And we can let people kind of do this on their own. Now, again, you will need some tools, right? So it's not a completely no tool type of thing. But if you're trying to do this in a way that like, to truly kind of create a social media presence or something like that, or even just create videos for, you and your friends, it's worth paying for the tools if you're going to get the use out of them, right? So I would just say, don't do this if you're worried about it, costing you a little money to do so. If you think it's fun and a novelty, definitely fun to do as well. But there are some tools and costs associated with
And
this.
a good rule of thumb, I do this a lot. Anytime you subscribe to something, I immediately unsubscribe. So then the subscription runs out at the end of the month. So then I'm not, you're not paying for things that you're not using. So if you are using it and you go to use it after 30 days, then, you get prompted to sign up again. But it's definitely worth it. You'll save a lot of money in the long run.
Yes, I agree. I'm very guilty of not canceling subscriptions and then letting like months go by. Okay, so I had to fix something on my system here, which was unfortunate because it cost me some time, but here we go. I think I'm ready to rock. So I've got this whole automation here that's going to create all of our background images, right? So I'm just going to come here, approve the story. I'm going to see if it works. We've got, we're going to be able to see if it starts running here. Yes, it is. And it looks like it's running successfully. So what's going to happen here now is you're going to start to see, based on this story that we just gave it, the script, it's going to come here and start creating scenes.
Those images that you do in yours?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. This is going to be very cool.
So we're going to have like a real video at the end of this, right? So you can see, okay, now it's got so you can see it's creating all of the shots. So, you can see now, like watching this work in real time is kind of wild. So I'm just going to let this run while we chat. Maybe now we could bring in producer Payne while this is happening, because there's only a couple steps left in order to get this to work.
All right. You guys ready for 1 minute of pain?
Mm-hmm.
He's not looking for any fame. It's too late to hide time for 1 minute of pain. minute of pain.
Producer Payne. This is 1 minute.
Executive
Executive Producer Payne. How do you feel immediately about the potential that your job might be in jeopardy from an AI created celebrity here? In the making?
I feel like I saw it coming, so I've been preparing in the background, groveling with the AI overlords in ways that I can continue to serve them as they usurp me.
I think that's a pretty good strategy. Now, if you need any advice on what tone of voice to use, you could just throw all your tweets into my tone of voice creator and you're good to go. But you can see, as we're talking about this, we've got images and video being created all automatically for us. Look, ma, no hands. And this is all going to come out while we let this run and talk. It's all going to come out as a finished product. So you can see this is all the individual shots. You can see it's creating images and prompts. No audio.
The only thing we'll need to do is overlay the video of Peg onto this, correct?
Correct. I'm hoping we can get there in the next 5 or so minutes if this allows. But you can see it's kind of creating all these scenes. We've already got one, which is kind of a bunch
I think
of
Peg's first video is ready. It looks like.
Should we go back and check out Peg?
Yeah, I'm just checking it on my end right now.
It is ready. Does it work?
I'm checking.
He needs some private time with Peg first.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She's way too hot. She's too hot.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back and share Chrome tab. I want to share.
It's my
Peg.
anniversary today, and I'm making fake ladies for me.
Oh my goodness. You can't be doing this on your anniversary. Okay, so here's Peg. First video. You ready?
No.
Whoever thought you could steal $46 million with nothing but a convincing smile and some AI magic? Deepfake technology
crazy.
involves using AI to create fake videos and audio that seem real. Recently, a massive scam in Asia used this tech to trick victims in countries like Taiwan, India, and Singapore. Scammers pretended to be romantic partners, persuading people to invest in fake cryptocurrency systems.
I feel like I'm going to get scammed.
This deception led to over $46 million in theft.
Deepfake
How do these
avatar.
scammers fool even the savviest tech users? This scam isn't just about lost money. It's about emotional manipulation and trust breaches. Deepfakes make scams more believable, blurring the line between real and fake. Understanding these tactics is essential to protect ourselves and support victims. Enhanced cybersecurity measures and awareness can deter such crimes, making the online world safer for everyone. To protect yourself, stay informed about digital tactics like deepfakes. Report suspicious activities and don't hesitate to reach out for help if caught off guard. Let's work together to outsmart cybercrime.
So, quick note on that. Like that script was pretty good.
Pretty good, I would say, for sure.
And again, like that was done in a blink from our prompts. So all of this really relies on like, can you do decent prompting to get the output you want? I've said this a million times. This is the shit you need to practice. We are open to sharing all of this stuff with you because I think it's worthy, or it's worth it to kind of get people up to date here. Okay, but so Peg was a success. Now let's see where we're at with our video. It's coming along slowly but surely. Let's see. We've got, so like, here's what part of the video is going to look like. Oh, sorry. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a minute and a half, or this is a minute. How long's her talk?
I feel like at least a minute, right?
Well, go check on her length because we might just be able to use this for the last part. But again, this was all just made for us, right? While we sat and talked about Peg.
Yeah, 1 minute, 6 seconds.
Oh, this is a minute 5. We're good. Let's do it. Let's take this. Okay, so I'm gonna download this.
This is crazy, by the way.
Don't forget, everybody. It ain't a lie. It's AI. That's
new tagline.
Okay, so last piece. There's only one more piece of this. We actually might be able to do this in the last. You got 5 minutes, Chamber, or no?
I got 5 minutes.
Okay, because I'll finish this regardless, but I would like it if you're here. Okay, so last piece of this, right? We've now got kind of two. So we've got two videos. The last thing we're going to do here is just put them together in CapCut. If you haven't used CapCut yet, it's pretty incredible. So all we're going to do is take the two downloaded videos, which I have here. We've got Peg's first video, and I think this is the one from, yes. Okay, so now we're going to pop this guy in here, and then we're going to overlay Peg. Okay, so now we've got two videos. So Peg, sorry, your last 1 second's going to get cut off here. But what we're going to do for Peg is remove the background. So Peg is getting her cut out.
Is CapCut's also AI?
No.
CapCut is no.
I-
It's just
I
a video
uses- I think it
editing.
uses AI.
some AI
Gotcha.
stuff. But it's okay. So there you go. Peg's background is removed. We can make Peg smaller here to kind of sit
Nice.
right here over our video. And now if you actually play it, it's going to, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. It's going to sound, can you hear this?
No.
Okay. Well, you can't hear it because of the screen share, but we should make Peg a little bigger because Peg deserves the limelight. What do you think? Is this a good size for Peg?
I think so.
We could do one further, and I could take a little audio I've got here from my podcasts. And we're just going to use this. We're going to throw it down here. And I'm going to just size
So
it.
just like a background music. Is this what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, fancy schmancy. And we're gonna throw some captions on top of that too.
Yes, we are. Actually, good question. I'm going to auto detect. We're going to do templates. We're going to do the emoji one because I like this one. And then we are going to, come on, baby. I think this might still be a little loud.
Well, don't worry. We won't be able to hear it.
Well, you will, because I'm gonna download this thing really quick, and then I'm gonna pull it up, or I'll pull it up in a way that you can see it. We've got, man, I can't believe we did this all.
I can't believe we did it either.
time.
I'm just
I
looking
did.
at time like this is wild.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna just resize this a little bit, and then so you can see kind of now it's got all the captions, it's got the video. We're going to export this beat in 4K, and we should be off to the races. So now it's going to get out of here, and then I'll bring it up, and I mean, shit, I'll post this right on to our TikTok, huh? What do you think? Did we lose Chamber?
I think he's frozen.
I think he's frozen. too.
Frozen.
Oh,
There
there
you back? Are you still frozen? I'm so confused.
No, I'm messing with you guys now.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, that's pretty good because I can't. I couldn't tell.
So I do this thing with my kids where he likes to freeze me, and I try really hard. Okay, so we've got the video. We're good to go. I'm going to. Where should we post this that people can hear it?
Post it on TikTok.
I don't have our TikTok login though.
On Instagram. Can you not just share it as present it as a video file?
How the hell do I do that?
Present.
Present?
Yeah, like when you share screen, the share screen.
Hold
Yes.
on. Yeah, but the problem is it's not the audio is
Yeah.
never comes through.
On video file, well.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, video file. I
Yeah.
have never used that. Okay, here you go. Ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. This is the finished product.
Could steal
Here's Peg.
$46 million with nothing but a convincing
playing?
smile and
Yep.
some
Yeah.
AI
I don't
magic.
hear it.
We
Have
hear
you
it.
ever
Hear it?
thought
Yep.
that someone could
Yep.
steal
No, I do not
$46
hear it
million
at all.
with nothing but a convincing smile and some AI magic? Deepfake technology involves using AI to create fake videos
How'd
and
we do?
audio that seem real. Recently,
That's
a massive scam
honestly
in
very
Asia used this
impressive.
tech to trick victims in countries like Taiwan, India, and Singapore. Scammers
So
pretended
hot.
to be romantic partners, persuading
she's too
people to
hot.
invest in fake cryptocurrency systems.
I feel like gettable though.
This
like
deception
attainable.
led to over $46 million
For
in
who?
theft.
Me.
But how did these scammers
Oh.
fool even the
I
savviest
don't
tech
think so,
users?
man.
This scam isn't just about lost money.
I
It's
got a
about
big
emotional
personality.
manipulation and trust breaches. Deepfakes make scams more
That's it,
believable, blurring the line between real
I mean,
and
this
fake.
came out pretty damn good.
Understanding these tactics is essential to protect ourselves and support victims.
Yeah, it did for sure.
Enhanced cybersecurity
All right, so
measures
we're
and
definitely
awareness
using
can deter
Peg
such
now,
crimes,
from now on
Yeah.
for all
making
of our
the
stuff,
online
right?
world
Yeah.
safer for everyone. To protect
Now we
yourself,
could have made this
stay informed about digital
horizontal for
tactics like
TikTok.
deepfakes.
I mean, for
report
Twitter
suspicious
as well.
activities, and don't
You can make
hesitate
the
to reach out
video
for
in any
help if
way
caught
with
off
our
guard.
template here.
Let's work together to
And there it is. So she got her last sentence got cut off, but there
That's
you
okay.
have it. We went from 0 to full on influencer
That's not bad.
in like 40 minutes, which is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So with a finished final video product, how about that?
I love it.
Now I'm
love it.
frozen. Okay. All right. So for next time, Chamber, what are we doing next time? We're going to give this thing a home on the internet?
Yeah. I think we might test her out a couple. Maybe show some tests that we've done. But we'll do Peg updates next week for sure.
Okay, she might look different by next time too. We're not sure if she's too hot or not, but let us know what you think about Peg. But anyway, that should go out on socials like right now. That video just as our demo. So and by the way, when you make this overlay of like this thing for TikTok, make sure Peg is in it. So
100%.
but anyway, that is gonna do it for us. Chamber, I know you got to get out of here, so thanks for sticking around for an extra couple minutes. Producer Payne, thanks for joining. As always, your job is safe, and we will not
Executive
replace
Producer
you.
Payne.
Yeah, Executive Producer Payne. We will not replace you with AI avatar Peg, but stay on your toes.
Yeah,
And that's
always.
gonna do it for us. Until next time, keep the mic hot.
What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe